Hello everyone, welcome to our video today about the rotation and how to create or design a rotational pattern for a call center. First of all, we have to understand what is the importance of creating a pattern or rotation. This is very important in order to ensure fairness across all your advisors, across all your employees. You want to make sure that they are working same to each other. No one is working, for example, for 6 or 7 days and another one is working for 5 days or less. On the other hand, you want to make sure that the ones, or at least the percentage of working in the morning shift and also afternoon or even late shifts, a little bit equal to each other. No one is exceeding, no one is working always or all his or her shifts are afternoon or night, and the other agent or advisor is working in the morning. So if you want to make sure and if you want to ensure fairness across your call center, all what you want to do is just design a rotation or pattern. So this is number one. Number two, also, or one of the importance of the rotation or the pattern is to fulfill your customer needs by allocating the resources at the right place and at the right time. So right now, based on the forecast that I have, that around 20 calls will be coming through by 8 a.m. So accordingly, I would like to fulfill and avail the more resources or exactly the resources to handle those customers. Try to imagine that you scheduled less than what's supposed to be. For example, I require for the 80 calls around, or for the 80 calls at least 10 FTEs, and you scheduled just 2 FTEs. First of all, you are not going to handle your customer, which means you will lose customer satisfaction. So number two is losing the service level, which is the main KPI for your call center. So these are one of the main things, one of the two or at least three pillars, which is the importance or of the designing or of the pattern or the rotation. So this is something that I wanted to highlight to you before starting or creating or designing a pattern together. Right now, what we need to create a pattern is just sample for the forecast, at least for 1 week, as we can see, and also the required headcount for this call center. Right now, we have 4 weeks. We have from Monday through Sunday. So let's get first, the first step is to get the average of each day. So right now, we are going to use the average formula by getting the average of each day separately. Right now, we have the average for Mondays, which is 1,275. And let's drag the formula. So right now, we got each individual or single day and its volume. Let's convert these volumes to percent. We would like to get the percent or the ratio of each day by dividing. But first of all, we would like to sum these averages to get like average 6K per week. Each day right now, let's divide each number or figure divided by that total, and let's fix the figure by function F4. So function F4, yes. So it's around 21%. So right now we know that the volume of Monday or each Monday is representing or represents around 21% out of the total volume of the week. Let's drag the formula across the days, and now we have the full week percent or ratio. Now Mondays 21%, Tuesdays 18%, Wednesday 17%, Thursday 16%, and so on. So that's step number one, is to get the percent or the percentage or the ratio of each day volume from the total volume of the week. After this, let's design the pattern. How many agents do we have in this call center? They said we have 80. So I'm going to plan my rotation based on 8 groups. So, or yeah, 8 groups, that's fine. So each group will have like 10 FTEs. Now let's design the pattern itself, and let's say this is group number one, and we said that we'll have 8 groups, and the working days from Monday through Sunday. I have a question here. if we have 8 groups and each group supposed to be working 5 days per week, so the question right now is how many shifts do we have for this rotation or this roster? Very easy. Each group will work for 5 days. Great. So let's multiply 8 by 5 shifts or 5 working days, and we have the total shifts for the whole pattern is 40 shifts. Great. So the whole total shifts here will be, let's do it very simple. Let's assume this is the off days, and this queue or this pattern, all of them will be off on Saturday and Sunday. And let's calculate these boxes here. Now we have 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 days, each 8 shifts for each day equals 40 shifts. Great. Now the question is, third step, how many shifts supposed to be working on Monday, or how many groups supposed to be working on Monday and on Sunday and so on? Now, very simple. Let's distribute the 40 shifts across the whole days by multiplying the percentage of each day by the 40, which is the total shifts. Right now, we need around 8 shifts on Monday. And of course, we fixed the number. We did not. So let's fix the number 40 by F4 by pressing F4. So now we have here 8. And let's drag the formula. Now we got what we have here is the required working shifts for each day. Monday, we need 8 groups or 8 shifts. Tuesday, we need 7. Wednesday, 7, and so on. How did we get these figures or these requirements? By using, that's why here we have got the percentage or the weight or the ratio of each day. 21 or 21% of the volumes are being received on Monday, which means we need 21% of the shifts to be working on Monday. 18% of the volume are coming through the call center on Tuesday, which means we need around 18% of our shifts to be working on Tuesday, and so on. That's the mechanism. That's how we define the required headcount or the required shifts or the required groups per day. Now we got the required. Let's see the actual. The actual will be counting the working shifts here and or deducting the off days from the working groups. I mean, we have here 8 groups. Let's assume that we have here one group is off. So how many shifts are working here? We have simply 8 minus 1 group off equals 7. So let's do it here. Equal 8 groups minus count F. Let's use this function to count F, the off days in this range from group A to group 8. Now our criteria is off. Let's test it right now. Yes, 7, so that's correct. And let's drag the formula. Now let's get the variance between the required or the actual and the required by subtracting the actual from the required, or let's say the actual minus the required. Okay, the actual is 7 here. Let's delete this off and let's right now distribute the off days. Again, we said that each group is supposed to be having 2 days off. So let's assume that group 1 will be off on Saturday and Sunday. And let's just distribute the off days without signs, just only scattering them like that with no signs behind. And let's do a conditional formatting by highlighting the off word or the off days to be obvious for each one of us. Now we can see that we have the off days here and so on. So first of all, we need to make sure that each group is having only 2 days. No one, for example, is getting 3 days off in the same week. And now we can see we can use also the same function count f. So equal count f, and let's do the range from C12 to I12, and the criteria again is off. Why we do this? In order to make sure that no one is exceeding the off days during the same week or taking less days off within the same week. Now we can see that we have 3 here, which means there is something wrong. It means that group 5 will be working only 4 days and having 3 days off. So let's delete one day off from the pattern. Now that's fair. Okay, that's everyone is working the same days per week, 5 days, having 2 days off. That's great, great, great. Okay, let's right now see our requirements. We require here to have 8 groups, 7, 7, 6, 6, 3. It means that, however, the actual is 5, 5, 6, and so on. And now let's see the variance. Here we have 2 extra groups are working, and here we have -1, which means that we are missing one group to work. We are missing here 2, we are missing 1, which means that days off are not distributing to serve our business or to fulfill our needs. So right now, let's master, and right now, let's create together, and let's imagine how to do this. Now, I'm going to delete the whole of days. I'm going to redistribute them a little bit in assigns. Here we have 2 days, I mean 2 groups should be working, okay, or should be off, I'm sorry. That's fine. So zeros, zeros, variance, great. Here we can give 2 more groups off, and here we can give 1 group off. I think that's perfect. Perfect. So when we distributed the days off based on the signs, now we can say that we have 100%. This is actually a perfect pattern. 100% perfect pattern. Why? Because we have distributed the days off based on our requirements or our expectations for the forecasted calls or volume. But let's think, or let's look again here. Are you quite sure that this pattern is perfect? Really? We want to make sure of something else, which is the consequence or the sequence, I'm sorry, the sequence of the days off and also the working days. Each one should not work. For example, if my labor law says you should work not more than 5 days per week. If you are going to work more than 5 days, this is against labor law in my country, and so on. So let's make sure that each group is working only 5 days, not more. Here it's 5, then followed by 2 days off. 5, 5, 5. That's fine till group 5. Then in group 6, 1, 2, 3. Then 2 days off. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is perfect. Then followed by 2 days off. And here is 1, 2, 3, which is perfect, followed by 2 days off. But here 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's start the rotation from the beginning. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 consecutive days. Try to imagine that. So here is the issue. This pattern right now is against labor law. There's a big problem right now, and we need to solve it. In order to solve this issue, this is my advice for you. Always, always remember that the last group in your rotation is being split at weekend. Now we delete the off from Wednesday, and let's put it here Sunday. So the split weekend will solve this issue for you at any pattern at all. Now if you can calculate 1, 2, 3, then followed by 4 days working and 1 day off, then 5 working days. So there is no breaking to the laws here. But there is something else appeared in the screen. We can see that we have deficit on Sunday and we have excess on Wednesday, or extra group on Wednesday. So in this case, I can just, let's do this puzzle. Let's move here and there. So we can move day off from Friday to Wednesday. And let's move also the weekend from Sunday to Friday and delete that one. I think this is much better right now. It meets our needs, no breaking laws, no one is working more than the other. It ensured fairness, and now it's serving my business and fulfill my customers' needs and the operational needs as well. By this, that's how you design the pattern. My advice and my request to you is go there, watch the video again and again and again, and after this try to imagine, get some data, just at least real or fake data for weekly volumes, and try to design the pattern more than once. Try to figure out your mistakes. Try to find, you may be, by the way, we can swap here between these two groups and we'll get the same result, which is the variance is zero. However, the arrangement, or at least the order of the pattern, won't be very friendly to the agents. So you need to do the pattern more than once in order to ensure that you are doing a great pattern and everyone is happy from this pattern. Right now, we ensured the fairness across the operations and we fulfilled our customer needs. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope it's useful for each one. Thank you and see you next time.